G'day there. Welcome back to the RaeSide. My name is Hannah. It is an amazing day to be a Star Wars fan today. We've got an amazing couple of hours coming up. We are only five hours away. 5 hours away from, of course, a new Andor episode, but also a new Tales of the Jedi series, a brand new animated series coming at us from one very passionate Clone Wars fan. I'm very excited. How are you guys going? Welcome to the chat. Let me know who's here. How you doing? It's gonna be a big day. We're gonna have a nice long stream today. Make sure we discuss everything. It's gonna be a long one, so strap in. Make sure you get your snacks, get comfy, and we're gonna discuss all our excitement for these shows. It's gonna be amazing. Welcome, Red Manda Commando. You're here. Your favorite Aussie show. I love it. I'm glad I made that mark. This is where the fun begins. Absolutely. Welcome to the chat. Cake Joel here. Fantastic. G'day there. Julie, you're welcome. It is our night, isn't it? It is the night of nights for Star Wars fans, specifically Clone Wars fans. But it's going to be a great day, isn't it? Hello, everyone. Thank you. Yeah, nice shirt. Got my Star Wars shirt. It's funny enough, I was looking in my wardrobe. I've got about, I would say, maybe 15 to 20 Star Wars shirts, and not one of them is Clone Wars. So I might have to change that soon. I think I'll have to change that. Going to be a late morning / night, so made sure to take a late afternoon sleep. Yes, that's a good way to do it. I won't glow too much, but here in Australia, it is perfect timing. It comes out at 6 p.m., so we've got plenty of time to watch it all. But yes, you guys over in America and just Northern Hemisphere over there is, the timing is crazy. So yeah, get your sleeps in where you can. Let me know, are you going to stay up for the watching? If we're in the chat, are you going to stay up watching, or are you going to sleep and then wake up, or are you going to just not wake up at all and watch it tomorrow? What's your go-to going to be? How are you going to watch these? And the big question, what do we watch first? Andor episode 8, which is setting up to be a pretty good episode. Last episode was very interesting. Again, not a lot of action in episode 7 of Andor, but definitely lots to come. We still need Saw Gerrera to show up at some point. So it's going to be very exciting. But of course, the avid Clone Wars fans, we're going to watch Tales of the Jedi first. What is your pick? We are going to discuss everything from both these shows today. Get our excitement up. Get ready for what is to come. Sevilla, welcome, my friend. Today, I don't sleep. I think a lot of people are taking your stance with the amazing stuff that's coming our way. Staying up all night. Julie will be with you. That's amazing. I want to scream your show, the shows. I hope you have a wrap up after. You know what? I hadn't actually scheduled that, but I think that it's tricky to figure out when it's going to be. I think I'll do it either way. Tales of the Jedi is probably about an hour and a half, and then Andor is probably about 50 minutes. So I could do one maybe just over maybe 2.5 hours after. I'll maybe tweet about that later. That's a good one, Julie. But welcome to the show. Thinking Saw Gerrera shows up tonight for Andor, says Rick. Caleb is fantastic. Greek Ledger. Welcome to the chat. Probably going to watch Tales first. My dad doesn't watch animated stuff, and we usually watch Andor together. So Tales of the Jedi is a winner for me. Love it. Sevilla with a question: will we see the emergency session of Palpatine in Andor? That's a good question, and I hope the answer is yes. But I mean, we missed out on a fantastic dinner party opportunity, so I hope we get to see that. I'll give you a sneak peek. Let me have a sip first. Let's have a sneak peek of what we're going to get up to today. We're going to be, of course, as we're having all these discussions, we need something to, refresh ourselves as we're working hard, getting excited today. And we're going to be making a cocktail, but not any cocktail. We're going to be making a Mace Windu inspired cocktail. It's going to be amazing. We're going to make that first up. And get our drink on. We've made some cocktails here in the past on the RaeSide. We've made a Krennic and gin, which is a play on a tonic, gin and tonic, or gin and Krennic. There we go. And then that's a play on a gin and tonic. There was, what was the other one? A Mon Mojito. We've made a couple of cocktails here, so we're adding to that list of Star Wars cocktails for some reason. Just to get excited. Maybe to relax us a little bit for the show's ahead. And then we're also going to be doing something I actually bought in America. Now, shout out to my buddies from Chatter Squadron, Tyler and Logan, and also my friend Chad from Convocal and Songcrow's song. That's it. And then also Matthew from Ion Cannon. They were with me when I bought this. We have the Ahsoka Tano brick heads from Lego. You can't really find these here a lot in Australia. I haven't seen them in Australia. So I bought them back in May over in America when I went over there, and I was saving it. I knew there was going to be a special occasion where I would want to build this, and Tales of the Jedi, come on, we're getting new Ahsoka content, new animated Ahsoka content. So I thought, what better time to build this? It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a purple cocktail, but you'll see how I figured out how to make this cocktail purple. Jeff, welcome to the chat. I'm hoping to watch Andor first. If Sam can get caught up on last week's episode between now and then, can we get some friendly encouragement for her, Hannah? Absolutely. You should watch it. It is, last week's episode was, you got to lean into it. I found myself physically leaning in to the camera, well, not the camera, but the screen. There we go. Leaning into the screen, finding out what was happening, what was everyone talking about. And there's some big, statements made here. And there was some very cool looking scenes. The cinematography is getting better, in my opinion, of Andor. So definitely watch it. I think tonight's episode of Andor is going to be pretty spicy. Hopefully we're going to see Saw Gerrera, might see some feisty conversations happen in the Senate. So Sam, please watch it. Please watch episode 7 of Andor so you can watch episode 8 tonight with Jeff. Joel, hey, Hannah, I've been loving your tweets about what is a Star Wars show, and I think it's been very thought-provoking. Yeah, that was an interesting tweet a little earlier this week. What did I say exactly? I said, that's right. Star Wars Andor has put me in a Star Wars midlife crisis, meaning that it's really challenged my definition of Star Wars and what makes Star Wars Star Wars. But that is a massive conversation, and I think we need a whole show committed to that. But that's a good note there, Joel. I think that's something to ponder on. Red Mando, yes, me and Red Mando met many years ago, many moons ago, playing Squadrons. Now that's a game I haven't played in a long time. Turned into the Obi-Wan quote. It was at Downtown Disney where I found it. But yeah, a fantastic find. Got called out. Oh, he just got me out. I'm definitely gonna go watch it. Can't wait. Oh, so good. So I'm thrilled to have you here in the chat, Sam. I'm so tickled that you're here. Oh, this is gonna be a great day. Well, let's get into some stuff. Before we get into discussions and things, let's do a bit of housekeeping. The Best of Star Wars is a brand new video series that I'm bringing out on my channel once every weekend. A video drops, essentially of a ranking video of something of the best of Star Wars, in my opinion. So the first one, the pilot episode, was the best Star Wars crashes. That is live now on the channel. It's only a couple minutes long, so a nice quick watch. It's my top 3 best crashes. And then this coming weekend, there's a brand new episode coming out. Already finished. It's ready to come out. So stay tuned for that. So the Best of Star Wars series. And this is meant to be a very engaging series. So I want you guys in the comments of those videos telling me your top 3 as well. So make sure you check that out. And of course, follow me on social media if you don't already, on Twitter and Instagram at the RaeSide. Well, let's get into it. Let's get into our Mace Windu inspired cocktail. Let's bring in Action Cam. Man, it's a chaotic day today. Let's get Action Cam in on this. There we go. Fantastic. So if you can't tell already, you've got a sneak peek of how we're going to make this purple cocktail. So if you've been watching my content regularly, we've made a bunch of food here. We've made blue noodles. We've made the cereal from Andor, and what else? We made marshmallow stormtroopers last week. It's been pretty wild, but particularly I got an idea from the cereal episode we did a couple weeks back from Cereal, And the idea was that instead of using blue food coloring for coloring the milk blue, we used M&Ms, and we soaked blue M&Ms, specifically blue, in the milk until the blue came off into the milk and it made blue milk. And it was actually delicious. It was just kind of like a chocolate milk, and it was very, very good. So for this cocktail, we're going to be doing a couple different things. We're going to be making the cocktail. And I'm going to use the same principle to color our cocktail purple, obviously in, honoring, you can almost see it at the top there, Mace's blue, not blue, Mace's purple lightsaber. We're going to be making a purple cocktail, and we're going to be doing that by using these purple only Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids is one of my favorite candies, or lollies as you would call it here in Australia. And, I thought, let's infuse this with the alcohol. Let's make a bit of a concoction here, a bit of an experiment, and make this cocktail. I've seen this done before, maybe with like vodka and like you put lollies in it and you kind of color it. I've kind of seen it before, so it was kind of I feel like this was a good idea. And also I'm gonna taste test them, of course. So obviously, I don't know what, like, if anything is purple, it's usually grape, right? Action game. Everyone loves the action cam. I love how much everyone loves action cam. Also, yes, I did pass the 200 subscribers just like 2 days ago. Mind blowing. I was mind blowing at 100. So to think I got I've had another 100 on top of that. Insane. Thank you so much for those of you. Some of you have not missed a show since the first week. This is like the 14th show or the 15th show or something. You guys are committed. So thank you so much. And if this is your first show, that's even just as amazing. So it's such a thrill to do this with you guys. Again, this is purely on just my love of Star Wars. So it's so fun to share that love with you guys and also hear your love of Star Wars. I love it when you guys, let me know your favorite characters or scenes or opinions. And, it's been a really fun time on this channel with you guys. So hopefully here's to many more shows. Thank you so much. Geek, I made some blue milk the other day and had cereal with it. It was fun and tasted great. How did you make it blue, though? That's the question. That's the pivotal question. Caleb, you're leaving me on a cliffhanger. How did you make it blue? Did you do the M&M method? Or did you just use coloring? But fantastic either way. Okay, let's make this cocktail because I need to calm down a peg. I need to calm down. So what we're going to do, I don't know how many to do. Like I've got the full cup of the Sour Patch Kids here. But as I was saying before, like purple is usually grape. Sometimes it can be like a black currant, but it's usually grape. So let's start with 5. Let's start off easy here. Build that. So I've got here what is called Pavan. I love how this has become like an after dark show. This is called Pavan. It's like a grape liqueur. I think it's French. Pavan. I think it's French. So we're going to use a bit of that because it's got a bit of a grape flavor, which I thought would go well with the it would go well with the grapey berry flavor of the Sour Patch Kids. And you did use M&Ms. Oh, that is phenomenal. That has made my day. And this is the day we're getting 2 Star Wars shows, and that has made my day. You use the M&M method? That's amazing. How good is it? It's just like chocolate milk with cereal. It's phenomenal. It's so cool. And the color worked so well. All right, so also don't mind the black on here. That's from our stormtroopers last week when we made our little visors. All right, so we've got for our mace cocktail, we've got our purple Sour Patch Kids, and we've got a Pavan. You know what? I just realized I don't have nothing to measure this with. I kind of just want to finish the bottle because there's quite a bit in here. No, not quite a bit, but not much in here. That'll do it. Okay, so Pavan, again, it's like a grape liqueur, I believe. Grape? It says it somewhere. But let me know if you've ever had Pavan before. But I don't know how well this will color. I don't know how long it'll take. Could take the whole show. But let's give it a go. Let's see if this turns a purple. It's not really purple at the moment, but we'll see how it goes. I'll leave it under action cam to supervise. Let's get right under there. Oh, Alex Quintana in the chat, the legend, a fantastic creative and editor. Oh, how have you been, my friend? Fantastic. I had the ability to come and say hi. Welcome. We're having a great show. We're making a Mace Windu cocktail. We're going to be doing some Lego in a little bit, Ahsoka Lego in a little bit. It's wow, what a good day! What a good day to be Star Wars friend. Hope you're well, my friend. Great to see you or hear from you as well. Oh yes, new profile picture. Look at that. I love that one. He's like reading a book or something. He's like reading something there. Reading something there. I love it. I love Obi-Wan. Love a bit of Obi-Wan. Now let's talk about we talked a little bit about what we're going to watch first. Some people are kind of half. Some people are saying Andor, some people are saying Tales of the Jedi. I did a poll on Twitter a day or two ago, and that had some pretty interesting remarks. I thought a lot of people were going to say Tales first, but I think it was like 60% said Andor first, which was I mean, it kind of makes sense if you're like happy with both of the shows. I feel like it makes sense that it's like you watch Andor first because it's like the one full episode, and then like maybe just watch Tales, because they're like shorter and a few in between. Maybe watch that afterwards. Maybe have a little break in between, things like that. But hi guy, I usually seen people use Skittles to dye vodka and liquors. Don't think I've seen Sour Patch Kids. Hope it works. I'm hoping it works too. It's like the dye hasn't come up straight away, which I'm a little nervous about. But either way, I think I'll just, I don't know. Maybe I should just add a bunch in. That's not enough. But Skittles, do I have Skittles? If this doesn't work, I'll go see if I have Skittles. I feel like I should have Skittles. I feel like I have it from the last time we used Skittles for something. Get in there. Either way, maybe I could just like leave the Sour Patch Kids in the drink, like just make the cocktail like just with it in there. So it's like that's the purple part. I'm just gonna like douse this. Maybe it won't do the water. Maybe milk is easier to dye because it's white. Maybe the water is trickier to dye. But we'll let it sit there for like the whole show. Just see what happens. Yeah, as our little cocktail steeps here, we'll see how it goes. Our blue milk isn't milk we use on Jada. It's amazing. Okay, I'll take your word for it. I feel like I've got to try that one day. Let's try that one day. Let's try it on the show one day. That would be amazing. Because I've heard of horchata. Yeah, that's right. It's that I was thinking it's like a Mexican perhaps drink. Yeah, Mexican. I'm apologies if I pronounced it wrong, but it's like a funky Mexican milky beverage. That looks good. I feel like that's a very Star Wars beverage. Actually, that's a very Star Warsy drink. I love it. Well, yeah. As we're going on with the show here, let's have a little discussion on the show. So we've got coming up. First of all, let's start off with Andor. Shall we? So Andor episode 7. It was good. It was good. There was quite a few different elements. We had the space Miami at the end. Lots of Coruscant, which was wonderful, lovely. We'll always welcome more Coruscant. It was a good episode. It was a good episode of Star Wars. Wasn't my favorite episode of Andor, or even Star Wars of anything. For me, it was my favorite of anything. But it was solid. It was solid. It gave us a good base. Lots of dialogue, lots of character building, lots of like scene setting building. And there was some really good nuggets in there. I think that was my tweet earlier this week. Yeah, it was solid. It wasn't the best ever, but there was some really good nuggets in there. Yularen, yeah, see, that's one of the good nuggets in that episode. That was fantastic. Really, really interesting. I didn't pick it up at all. The first watch I just watched through the episode, did not pick it up, and then it was only when I went on Twitter and it's like, oh, Yularen was in it, and I was like, what? And went back and I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah, and it says it in the subtitles, of course. Indeed, yeah. So horchata. It's indeed a funky Mexican rice and cinnamon drink. There you go. Okay, girls' perspective. Mon Mothma's clothing is epic. It is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. If I was a senator, I would wear that. It's like such a power suit. She looks phenomenal every time. Actually, I don't even need to be a senator. I just want to wear that outfit just around the house. That would be phenomenal. She needs a Funko Pop. I hope that's coming. I hope that's coming for us. Mon Mothma Funko Pops are very good. Rick, what a great scene with Mon Mothma trying to confide in her senator buddy, though. That was a classic. Yeah, that was fantastic. That was, I think, in my reaction video, I think there's like a scene of, yeah, like that moment straight after that conversation. I was like, oh wow, like Mon Mothma's like, she's like badass. She's heavy. She's like just solid. She's confident. She's courageous. She's really cool. She's shaping to be like. I mean, I was already pretty excited for Mon Mothma, and I think a lot of us were. A lot of you guys were very excited for Mon Mothma. It's hard to say Mon Mothma quickly, isn't it? Mon. I'll just say Mon. It was really exciting that she was going to be in the show, and she was going to play a fairly big part in the show. So it's amazing that she's like exceeding my expectations, and I had pretty high expectations of her character coming into this show. Thank you. That's just what Sam needed. She just hollered, no spoilers. Oh no. What was the spoiler? Oh, the Lauren. Oh no, that's a good point. I'll take that. I'll take responsibility. I didn't do enough of a spoiler warning there. That was like, oh, we're gonna discuss all the moments that happened in episode 7. And we just talked about how she didn't see episode 7. I take responsibility there. I'm so sorry. We'll only briefly go over episode 7. There's some other great things in here too. They got me. Yeah, that got me too. I absolutely thought that was him. I like the conversation between Mothma and Luthen at the start of the episode. I feel so bad. I'm speaking quieter so Sam doesn't hear me. Between Mothma and Luthen at the start of the episode, must admit, kind of agree with Luthen tactics. Yeah, the two different, like they're going for the same goal. They're trying to achieve the same thing, but they're coming at it from two completely opposite angles. It's really interesting. How we going over here? Action cam? You working hard, action cam? It's not going purple, is it? I don't know. Hang on. Let me move this comment. It's not getting purple. It's getting a weird color. Ooh, it's like sandy. It's like the sugar. Like the sugar's dissolving in the liquid, but the purpleness isn't dissolving. But let's give it time. I have faith. Looks a bit funky to me. Was anyone else kind of disorientated by the tonal shift when they cut to the planet on Miami, though? That took a minute. Yes. Whoa. Like, I can appreciate how it's like it's a new look and it's like cool now, but definitely during, I was not about that like last 5 minutes. I was like, what's happening? What's this? What? And you know what? I felt like they should have started the next episode with that scene. But maybe with time, how they're time jumping or something, maybe that doesn't work. But I thought that was a little funny. Also, Tales of the Jedi tangent. Bryce Dallas Howard announced on Twitter. Yes, we'll get into that in a second. Yes, I can start these. Yes, I'm gonna save that for later because we'll get into that soon in the Tales of the Jedi discussion. The Andor episode 8. The main thing is in my mind with episode 8 is Saw Gerrera. I know a couple of you agree. Anyone else have other things they kind of maybe want to see in episode 8 tonight? I'm hoping to get, we've seen Cassian kind of in group settings and things, but I would like maybe use your words, Hannah. A very focused episode on Cassian's like internal monologue. So maybe if we see him in jail, maybe it's like a very isolated on like him and his experience in jail and maybe what he's thinking and how to get out of there. I think I would like quite a focused episode on Cassian now that we've seen him in kind of big group settings, and episode 6 of Andor was amazing. So I would like to see him doing some other things and but less other people around him, more focused on Cassian, and of course more Mon Mothma. I just want an ISB Deidre Miro. What's her name? Deidre Miro. Yeah, got it the first time. Would love to see more of her. She's a fantastic character that I didn't know I would like so much, but she's really fascinating. Very much like not an anti-hero, but it's like, well, she kind of is. It's like, well, she's like works for the ISB, but I'm kind of rooting for her. I'm like hoping she like succeeds, which would mean bringing down Cassian. So yeah, she's an interesting character, but I'm glad she's a part of the show, and she's surprised me with how much I've been interested in her character. Yes, episode 8 should be really interesting. Caleb, I've changed my mind on Andor cameos. If other characters appear, I want it to serve the story, even if it is just a 5-second cameo. It needs to serve the story. Yes, I spoke about this on the SW. Who was it? There was a character that I'm like, it would make sense. I forget what character, but I think one character I've always thought about coming into Andor was again, his name is gonna leave me here. It was the commander from Rebels, Commander Sorto. Commander Sorto. That is a character. I feel like for the story of like the Luthen Mon Mothma storyline over there, I feel like that would make sense if like we see him in like a scene or two and like in discussions or something. I thought that would be a cool little like yes cameo, but it's not a cameo like it's not a cameo if it serves the purpose of the story. I'm with you there. Like I won't be funny or annoyed about it. Like I know a lot of people are like, no cameos, that's good. But it's like if it serves a story, if it's like useful, if it's like important, then that's good, right? So yeah. Uh Caleb, I previously just wanted a random appearance of Mando, but that doesn't really fit the tone of the show. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think that does. I don't think that does for this one. I get what you mean by it's the tone. There's something about the tone that wouldn't fit really. That really wouldn't fit. Very interesting, but, yeah, Andor should be good. I've had a bit of a mixed reaction to the Andor series so far, if you've been following along with discussions and things like that. It's not looking appetizing, if you can see that liquid there. How do I get a better shot of this? That's not really turning purple, is it? I'm kind of feeling like I should just make the cocktail with the Sour Patch Kids in there. Maybe I should just eat the Sour Patch Kids. Um, hmm. Uh, what on earth was I saying? But yeah, Andor. Yeah, it hasn't hit the satisfaction bone for me yet. It's very interesting. The cinematography, the writing, and the direction, directing of it is the best of Star Wars I've ever seen. So those three things are the best and like my favorite I've ever seen, but it's not my favorite story, and I can't grab hold of the story enough. I'm just kind of I feel like I'm just kind of absorbing the story, but I'm not really like feeling it and like connecting with it. But that's okay. That's so okay. Yeah, it should be a good one. Should be a good one for Andor episode 8. It'll be interesting to see how the rest of this season pans out and like what kind of direction. Like, is it going to be very climactic kind of season end of episodes, or is it going to tone down and stay the same? Maybe. Very interesting. But Joel with a comment here. I don't think Ahsoka or the Gross crew are good fits either. I just don't feel right for this tone of how either. Yeah, I agree. Like something about like if like Hera came in, even though it's like, oh, that'd be so cool to see Hera or Sabine. I don't think it would fit with what's happening with the tone. Totally agree there. I'm starting to think I'm gonna have to just like I'm just gonna make the drink on top of this. I don't think this is gonna get. Or maybe it's getting a little purple. I can't tell. I can't tell. Nope, action cam lagging out a little bit there. Apologies for the connection a little bit. Again, this was the same last bit. We had thunderstorms around the place here in Australia. So if the connection drops a little bit, that is why. So I do apologize. I think we might get a Palpatine or Bale cameo, but not in season 1, maybe in season 2 when we get closer to Rogue One. Yep, I agree. I think there's a fantastic thought there. Maybe an end of season cameo of Palpatine might be nice. I think that could be a possibility, but definitely I think maybe a Bale and Palpatine for sure in season 2, surely. Ahsoka could work maybe as her fulcrum persona. Yeah, I did think of that because I mean Cassian does go as much as he goes by Clem and like he has his like other code names. When we see him in Rogue One and he's kind of working the rebellion, his code name is Fulcrum and he's Fulcrum and he goes by that. So I feel like there needs to be some sort of connection there. I feel like those two know each other. Maybe she brings him, down to earth a little bit. I wouldn't mind seeing that. I doubt it would happen in this show, but I wouldn't mind to see that kind of interaction. Maybe, yeah, just that connection there. Before we move on to Andor, um, let's move on to Tales of the Jedi. Sorry, let's try and make this cocktail. It's the color is really disconcerting me. That it's because it's the sugar again. It's like the sugars have dissolved, so it's made this like brown color, which is like hilarious. And also peep the wonderful Death Star cheese board I got for my birthday a week or two ago from my parents. It's a fantastic board for the show. Now I need an extra ingredient which I need to go grab. It's chilling in the freezer right now. So as always, if you're new to the show, at least once a show, I've forgotten something. I have to run and get it. So as always, just talk amongst yourselves. Amazing. All right, we're back in business. So, another little shout out is to the everyone who was watching the show last week. If you didn't catch the show, or if you did, this is what we made. These are little marshmallows of Rex and Cody, and we also did a boba and a stormtrooper. And what I've done, I didn't eat them. For those of you wondering, I didn't eat them, but I froze them so I preserve their integrity. So there's our little, maybe Action Cam get a shot of that. Our little Rex and Cody, lovely ode to Tails tonight. So that's done with obviously like jumbo marshmallows and also icing if you want to do that as well at home. And I just kind of use reference images to make their little faces. But yeah, just a shout out to those little marshmallows. I just saw them in the freezer. Phenomenal. So, welcome, Dave. Welcome to the show. G'day there, HR and all. Welcome. Hello, Dave. G'day there, Dave. I could see us hearing from Fulcrum over comms. If I remember from Rebels, she was very hesitant about ever showing her face, so just audio cameo. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I think that could work. Speaking of audio, I really would love to hear on Luthen's little, like his little headphone radio thing he's got there. I would love to hear the Ezra broadcast on that little device he has. That would be cool. That would be very cool if we get that. So now what I'm doing here, I've kind of just been trying to be resourceful. I didn't have any ice cubes ready for this week, so instead of using ice cubes, I've got blueberries to add to our purple mace theme, even though they're blue. And I thought this can add another level of I need my spoon. Another level of purple, but also I've frozen them, so they're gonna be the ice cubes for this drink. So we're gonna, you know what I might do? This is gonna be a very strong drink, but let's do it. Is that getting purple? I can't tell if it's like a placebo, if I'm just wishing it's looking purple. I feel like the liquid isn't getting purple. I feel like it's not. Let's just make the drink anyway. Let's just go for it. So, Sour Patch Kids. This is going to be a funky drink if I've ever had one. Frozen blueberries to add. This is going to be our ice cubes instead of like if ice cubes would have just watered it down. Let's just add a bunch. Refreshing. Very good. We've got our home cold water is here as well. So we're going to add that. So again, it's the Sour Patch Kids Pavan. Bit of sparkling water and our frozen blueberries. Wow, that is not an appetizing color whatsoever. Action cam lagging out a little bit here. Again, got some thunderstorms in the area. So not the greatest of Wi-Fi days, but that's okay. Let's put some more blueberries in here. So again, I've frozen these to just like act as the ice cubes. You know what? It looks like a Star Wars drink. Joel, the Ezra broadcast can't happen in season 1. That was 4 BBY and it was 5 BBY. Oh, okay. And that looks good. This looks like it definitely looks like a Star Wars cocktail, right? Amazing. Let's give it a taste test. Action Cam struggling to connect with this week. Nice. It doesn't look appetizing at all, but it tastes pretty good. It tastes grapey, and it's got a little bit of sourness because of the Sour Patch Kids. That tastes pretty good. I'm happy with that. It doesn't look appetizing on Earth, but I feel like in Star Wars, this is a Star Wars drink. It reminds me of the eggs that Grogu eats. But yes, cheers, Dave. Let me know if you're having a cool beverage at wherever you are as well. Fantastic. Well, we'll sip on this and let's talk a little bit about now. Let's switch over to Tales of the Jedi. Let's talk about that. Action Cam is struggling a little bit here, so we're gonna give him a rest just for a minute, so the Wi-Fi can connect a little easier as well. But let's have a little chat about Tales of the Jedi. What's gonna happen in this show. So what we know so far, we got 6 episodes, varying lengths, and some the first three with do we know if it's the first three? But 3 of them is going to be the Ahsoka arc, essentially, so based around Ahsoka and a bit of her story. And the next 3 is going to be Count Dooku, Qui-Gon, Mace Windu kind of group of the timeline. So we'll have a little discussion of tales. We'll talk our thoughts, predictions, and feelings. Let's start off with let's start with the Count Dooku and Qui-Gon arc. As we sip our Mace drink here. Now I haven't actually named this Mace Windu inspired drink yet. So let me know any cocktail names for Mace. Master and Mace. There's a quote, Jar Jar. There's a great Jar Jar quote there. Probably been asked already, but when does it drop? I'm guessing 4 hours. Yes, I can give you. Oh, yeah, almost exactly 4 hours because it usually drops like 10 minutes before the hour. So 4 hours. So that would be like 11:50 Pacific time. Actually, yeah, it depends where you are. 11:50 Pacific time, or that's 2:50 Eastern time. That's 5:50 here in Australia. Yeah, 4 hours time, pretty much 4 hours and 6 minutes. I'll make that call. 4 hours and 6 minutes time. We're gonna be getting it. It is crazy to think we're gonna be getting new Star Wars animation. And Clone Wars animation at that. New Star Wars Clone Wars animation. So good. Tiger, yeah, 3 a.m. if you're on the Eastern. Amazing. Don't really follow Star Wars channels, but you have a new follower. Thank you, Film at Crossroads. It's fantastic to have you here. Well, you're always welcome, my friend. We just chat about what's happening in Star Wars. And you know, it's very much based on you guys, the audience, and I just kind of have discussions here. So you're more than welcome to be a part of the community here at the RaeSide Film at Crossroads. Great to have you. Now that's a Mace Windu cocktail. That is a Mace Windu cocktail. Also, thank you for censoring yourself, Sevilla. That was appreciated. But yeah, this is the Mace Windu inspired cocktail. I haven't nailed a name for this one. Mon Mojito, I thought was brilliant. I thought I really nailed that. And also the gin and Krennic, as in a gin and tonic, nailed that one. I thought. But don't know about a Mace cocktail. This cocktail is Mason Me Thirsty. It's a Seinfeld reference, if anyone gets it. These pretzels are making me thirsty. I'm most excited for Count Dooku and the dynamic with Qui-Gon. Yeah, absolutely. Like, let's talk about that actually, because that's something that's being hinted at, and I'm sure there's books and maybe EU books out there that's probably on it as well. I'm not terribly versed in Star Wars books, but to get that on screen, even if it's just in animation, is amazing. Count Dooku He's an interesting character. I loved his character and the portrayal of his character in the Clone Wars. So he's going to be a really interesting one to follow and see his. I think kind of, are we assuming it's just his kind of turn and his, you know, he's choosing not to be a part of the Jedi. He leaves his Jedi. Is that the arc? Is that what we see? And young Qui-Gon, I think it's so fantastic. If you didn't know, Liam Neeson has come back to voice him, but it's also semi-merged, and I think that they're kind of both voicing him. Is his son as well, Liam Neeson's son, to voice young Qui-Gon is insane. Is so fantastic to see in the Star Wars actor community, like that kind of coming back. I mean, seeing Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan again, and then to have his son voice him in Tales of the Jedi. So to see how young Qui-Gon was as a younger student, as a Padawan, as a Jedi Knight, perhaps, he is one of my favorite Jedis of all time. So I would really, really love to see, yeah, just more of him. And he had a really interesting theology and just perspective. And I really think his character is something that is going to be quite interesting, just as much as Count Dooku. And yes, just got over 200 subs just the other day. Insane. I said this earlier, I was mind blown to hit 100. So to think I've got another 100 on top of that is just like insane. Super, super thankful. Super thankful. Something being the best Star Wars doesn't mean your favorite Empire is said to be the best Star Wars, but I prefer Return of the Jedi more. Yeah, it's a good take. It's like, yeah, the best. What is the best? Like, I could argue, I think Andor is the best Star Wars show ever, but my favorite Star Wars show is probably. Oh, that's a good question. I don't even think I could answer that yet. I'll have to think about that. But yeah, that's a good point. Joel. Yes, actually, let's bring back Caleb's comment from earlier here. Also, Tales of the Jedi tangent. Bryce Dallas Howard announced on Twitter that she's voicing Yaddle. She wouldn't confirm or deny if she speaks like Yoda, though. Yes. Oh, isn't that a query? Actually, is that getting more purple? I don't know. That's a big question on everyone's lips, isn't it? Question on Yaddle's lips. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see if Yaddle speaks like Yoda. How does she speak? Is it Yaddle or she? I think she's a female, right? I want to see Yaddle. Yeah, it's going to be really, really interesting. Yeah, of course, voiced by BDH. Love her direction and input in the Star Wars like content so far. Her direction of her episodes of The Mandalorian. She did a bit of stuff on Boba. She's fantastic. I'm a big, big fan of her. I give her a movie. I'm pretty like confident. Like, give her a Star Wars movie. I would go that far. Apparently, Ian McDermott is going to play Palpatine. I did see that. I didn't know that. That's going to be exciting. We always love a good Palpatine, showing up, and we hope to get it in Andor. But if we get it in Tales of the Jedi, I feel like either way, we're going to see Palpatine tonight. At some point in some show, we're going to see Palpatine, which I'm happy about. It's going to be amazing. I want to know if everyone in his species talks like Yoda, or he's just nuts. Well, the thing is, if Yaddle speaks, we say normally, if Yaddle speaks like fluent, like earthly English, let's say, I don't know how to describe that. Then the question is raised: why does Yoda speak like he does? That's another question, and I feel like that, then we'll have to have something else that explains that. That'll be interesting. In the Yoda, wow, good timing. Well, Yaddle speaks normally in Lego, the Skywalker Saga. I'm trying to think where Yaddle was on the Tatooine near the Sarlacc pit or something. You can unlock Yaddle that way. I feel like I can't remember if she spoke or not. But in the Yoda, I believe you. But welcome to the show. Yes. Also, hi. Also, g'day there. Great to have you here. Great to have you here. So Yoda is nuts. Perhaps. So again, that's the question. If Yaddle speaks normally, what does that mean for Yoda? Do we get it? We need a story. Why does Yoda speak the way he does? Why? Apparently, yeah. My headcanon ever since the Ahsoka episode of Mandalorian is that Yoda species communicate with telepathy as their native language. So when Yoda species talk, it comes out all jumbled. You know what? That's actually a really cool theory. That's a really cool theory. I think that could be pretty plausible. They just kind of they use maybe the force, maybe most of their species are force feelers users. So maybe that's their most fluent way of communicating, and so when it comes out verbally, it's very different. It sounds very different. Frank Oz felt that Yoda's tongue came from the Jedi of his time, not the actual species, but let's be honest, that doesn't really mean anything. Yeah, I feel like that's not canon, but I feel like that's just a really interesting take anyway. You know, the amazing Frank Oz saying that, but yeah, that'd be an interesting theory. It's like what it's saying, like all the Jedi, tongue came from the Jedi. That's really interesting. Imagine if all Jedi spoke like that. That was like how you were taught to speak as a Jedi. Really interesting. Yaddle has missions in the Jedi Temple, and I think the mission sent you to Tatooine. So yeah, I think I feel like I can remember because I'm still playing through Skywalker Saga. Well, I feel like you can play through it for hours, days. But I feel like I came across Yaddle recently. But that was fun. She's fun. Showing Yaddle, do you think we'll see a younger Grogu? You know what? I'm a big fan of getting really good tie-in material and connective tissue between Star Wars projects, so I would be absolutely for that. I think that would be really, really cool to see. I think that would make so much sense. Maybe we could even get a little bit. Sorry, change the lighting a little bit here. I think that would make a lot of sense to see that. I think that would make the most sense. That's a big question. Or do we leave that for the Mandalorian show? Do we leave that? Never know. Off topic. Should I? Oh no, this is topic. I feel like this is on topic. Off topic, so I don't need to respond. But with the topic of Yoda and Yaddle speaking, I wonder what will Grogu's first words, very first spoken word be, and who should voice him? Just something to think about. Yeah, it's, and that's what I mean. I feel like there's got to be some, and I'm sure there is. Like maybe Filoni in the Filoniverse, they've kind of worked out the canon of like this whole story of like how Yaddle speaks, why Yoda speaks the way he does, and then obviously now with Grogu, surely they kind of created Grogu and invented Grogu. Maybe they have a clear picture of why he speaks that way. Yeah, I think that's something that will be answered in like the next maybe like 2 to 3 years. I think within that time period that will be answered. Oh yeah, back to the favorite. I think my favorite Disney Plus show is Kenobi, followed by Andor. If Kenobi looked like how Andor did, it would be like the greatest masterpiece ever. That's all I say. Maybe if Yoda's been in the Jedi for hundreds of years, so he's probably seen Galactic Basic evolve and change as language, so he might just be stuck in his ways. That's a good point. Maybe that's just how people spoke. Back to the Frank Oz theory that Crossroads brought up. What was that? Yeah, that like this theory that could connect to this theory where it's like, well, maybe like the language just was sounding different back then. Whether it's him or like the people around him, maybe it wasn't as developed. I like that Yoda species is a mystery in Jedi Fallen Order. It's mentioned she's still alive briefly, which is 5 years after Episode 3. Yeah, well, doesn't Yaddle die in like 5 different points of canon? Like, there's so many different ways of Yaddle's death. It sounds like Shark T. I'm pretty sure Shark T dies like 5 times, 5 different points of canon. But yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be interesting if that's the way to. Yeah, Fallen Order. I need to do that campaign again, man. That's good. That was a good game. Kenobi and Mandalorian Book of Boba Fett in terms of ranking them all. You know what? Again, this is a side note. I'm such a big fan of Book of Boba Fett, and I don't even know why. It's not that cohesive, but it's really good for some reason. I love Boba Fett. Yes, I like not having to find out the origin of everything in Star Wars. I like the mystery better, which is kind of why I didn't like Solo much. I didn't need all those answers. Yeah, I get what you're saying there. I think there's something about there's something that's like some things that can be left a mystery, and some things that can be left to discover through story. See, something like where Grogu comes from, where Grogu, who saved Grogu from the temple. Like that's, to me, that's like storyline. That's plot line. That's like a part of the timeline of Star Wars. That's like a part of the story. Where there's, yeah, maybe there's, bigger questions like this that, it's better left as a mystery. And we just continue to go, okay, like that's just something we're never going to get answered. And it's just like a part of the Star Wars lore. It's interesting. Shakti dies in 2 deleted scenes of Revenge of the Sith and then The Force Unleashed, right? Like, and I swore, like, who was the Jedi on Camino in Bad Batch? Who was that? Like, at first I thought it was Shakti, and I'm like, no, that can't be Shakti. But I'm like, can it be? So many deaths, so many deaths. Inda Yoda, yeah, agreed. She's mentioned in Fallen Order, but doesn't mean she's alive. But yeah, yeah, right. But yeah, Shakti has so many more deaths. Yeah, so many deaths, so many deaths. It's crazy. It's crazy. Book of Boba Fett is so underrated. Only show that threw off a little is Kenobi. It's an okay show, but visually it's odd, right? That's my point. It's like it's the story. The story of Kenobi is so good. It's like very well written. It's a great storyline. But there was something visually that was just little odd. Little odd. Let's bring this back. I'm going to try and round this back to what we're talking about. Tales of the Jedi. Thoughts of Count Dooku and Qui-Gon arc. Yeah, I think this is surely going to be about Count Dooku's turn, or maybe not the exact time he turned, but maybe what prompted him to turn from the Jedi. And what path he goes on and how that affects Qui-Gon maybe as well. How that, at a young and impressionable Jedi, how does that affect him that his master turns? And in Attack of the Clones, which I watched recently, actually, that's a great movie. They when he captures Obi-Wan and Obi-Wan's like hanging in the Geonosian like jail thing, and they had that conversation. He's like, you should have come with me if you had the chance. I don't know the exact quotes. Like, yeah, you should have come with me if you had a chance. Like, Qui-Gon would have come and joined with me. And he's like, Qui-Gon wouldn't have come. Like, Obi-Wan says that. So it's interesting to see, yeah, Qui-Gon at this young period of his life. What is he thinking, and how did this maybe events affected him like this? It's going to be interesting. Other species. Actually, that is a funny. It's a funny concept, the Yoda Yaddle relationship. This is just becoming a cup of berries and lollies. Hang on, I'm showing it to the action cam, and action cam's not here. Action cam, welcome back, action cam. He's a bit back. Is that a bit of? I can't speak properly today. I'm just too hyped up. Is this a bit better quality? There we go. There we go. There's my cocktail I've got going. It's just become a cup of berries and Sour Patch Kids, but I'm not complaining. I'm loving it. Loving it. Jedis with benefits. I love that. That's hilarious, Willa. That's great. The show got the short end of the stick, bringing in a new team as Ilum. It was busy with Mando, Andor, and Ahsoka. Maybe that would actually explain a little bit, because the production value on it is little low. Such a good story. Yes, where is it in canon where this is a thing? I've heard this before, which is hilarious. Q-Mundi having all his wives. He's got like multiple wives. That's insane. And we're not going to get into Q-Mundi today. I am not a fan. I'm aggressively not a fan of Q-Mundi. Oh, he's so negative. And I'm maybe that's probably what makes him a good character, because he's showing the downfall of the Jedi, but he's just so negative, and he's just such a Debbie Downer about everything, and he's just so pessimistic. It's like, man, lighten up. Jeez, shocking. Q-Mundi is a great example of that. Dave, great. This is a good question. If it's Tales of the Jedi, will we have a narrator? Is it one storyline or time jumps? I've not read or heard anything about the series to say somewhat surprised. Um, well, good choice to stay surprised. I think. I mean, I'm kind of I'm kind of in between. I loosely try and stay surprised, but good on you. Will we have a narrator? Well, what would be incredible if it was Tom Kane? Is that his name? That's his name, right? Okay, yeah, Tom Kane. Um, but it came out a year or two ago. He suffered a stroke, which impeded his speech. So, because that would be awesome to get him narrating. That, like, I love that initial opening of a Star Wars Clone Wars episode, and you hear that narration, and it like sets you up with what's happening. Be interesting if they do that, even that little setup, a couple of lines, and who would do that perhaps. Um, is because no, I don't. I'm not headist. I don't discriminate against head sizes, but he is in the Yoda Debbie Downer. He is a Debbie Downer. I don't know if is that a saying there. That's a saying in America and other countries, right? It's one here. He, that's true. He might be negative about everything in the world possible, but he cares about the Wookiees. He cares about the Wookiees. What about the Wookiees? What about the state of your mood, my friend? What about the state of your mood? Lighten up. I'm getting too mad at this. I'm getting too mad at Julie. I read a rumor that Cyril hires a bounty hunter to hunt down Cassian. I I don't know if was it a rumor or just a theory, because I feel like I have that theory too. I kind of agree with that, and I feel like that could potentially quite possibly happen. I feel like Cyril and Deirdre will team up. But yes, I keep getting distracted to what Count Dooku's happening. That's a saying, but okay, fantastic, great. I never heard of any other YouTubers say it. Well, you know what? We're very real here on the RaeSide. We're very just what you see is what you get. So yeah, glad to. But I'm so happy that you're here. I'm so happy you're here. Filmic Crossroads. I really hope Palpatine will appear in Andor. He actually randomly mentioned in the Andor series an event talking about the rise of Skywalker, since people have suspected he'll appear. Let me read this again. I feel like I didn't fully understand what you said. I really hope Palpatine in Andor. He randomly mentioned the Andor series at an event talking about the rise of Skywalker, since then people have suspected he'll appear. I feel like he is. I feel like he's set to appear. I feel like surely, like he's ready for Star Wars. Let's talk about, like, Ian McDiarmid is like ready for Star Wars. He's like down for it. He's down to return to Rise of Skywalker. He did stuff in Bad Batch. He showed up in Obi-Wan. Like, he's around. That guy's available to be Palpatine. And if you don't have to do another casting call for Palpatine, stick with the amazing one, original one you got, and put him on all the shows. Absolutely. Unfortunately, I know for sure that Tom Kane can't do it anymore. Yes, that was mentioning. I don't think it needs an old school movie serial voice to be good. Yeah. Yeah, it is very sad that he's unable to do it anymore. He's such an iconic voice of Star Wars, and especially Clone Wars. And the fandom just love that guy, don't we? We just love Tom Kane. He's fantastic. He was awesome. But yeah, maybe you can just go straight into it. A little bit different, shorter episodes. I think the shortest one was like 12 minutes, and the longest one being 17 minutes. So maybe it is more punchy. That's what I'm hoping. I think me and Julie, you and I spoke about that on Twitter, I think earlier this week, saying shorter time periods, maybe that's a bit more concentrated. Was that you? I think that was you, Julie. Should be more concentrated and just like straight to the point. Maybe jump into the storyline. Yeah, he unfortunately won't be voicing anything for a while ever. I think Lucasfilm should definitely reach out to him using the voice with the respeecher for future projects. That's a good point. I mean, with the story coming out, as they're gonna start. I don't know anything about tech, so I don't know how that explains. They use what is with my name remembering today? How have I forgotten Darth Vader's voice? How have I forgotten his name? Oh my god, I'm a fake fan. I'm a fake fan. Fake fan. James L. Jones. Oh my god, thank you. Oh jeez, yeah. Okay, James L. Jones. They're gonna be using kind of sounds of his voice to make like an AI voice thing of his voice for future Darth Vader projects and things, which is interesting. Gee, thank you. I'm really ashamed that happened live. I'm so sorry. Thank you. I love that. Just Earl again. Love your profile picture. I love this is the best character of Andor. Velch, great picture. This is a fantastic question. Fantastic question, and it's going to be part of the best of Star Wars series. I'm putting up the best Star Wars things of different topics. Last week it was the best Star Wars crashes. This upcoming week, this weekend, I'll spoil it for you all. It is the best Star Wars. It's episodes, but it's kind of arcs because you can't just like the episode kind of makes sense in the arc. So that will be answered. That will be answered in that video. So make sure you check that out when that does come out. What was in that drink you made, Hannah? I think she's cut off. Yeah, I you know what? Maybe it is a little strong because I can't believe I just forgot James Earl Jones. That's pretty bad. Pretty bad. Dave, is it just me? But why is Cyril so overly invested in getting Cassian? I believe it's he blames Cassian for losing his job, and if Cassian didn't kill the two guards, he wouldn't have gone after him, and he wouldn't have Cyril wouldn't have failed at going after him, or maybe it's just that he got away. Like Cyril was trying to do the right thing, and Cassian got away. So naturally, he just wants to finish that task. He wants to achieve it. Before we get any further, because we'll start talking a little bit about the Ahsoka stuff as well now. I'm going to move this to the side because we're going to be doing our Lego building now as well. So Action Cam gets its little workout. We're going to be making the Ahsoka brick heads. I've never made one of these. They're very cute. Again, I got this in America when I was over for Celebration. I got the Ahsoka, arguably one of my favorite characters. So I saved it. I bought this and I saved it because I knew it would come in handy one day and it would be great for a show one day. So this is why it's here. So we're gonna get stuck into this. It's interesting to see Yularen be the bad guy, but he was on the Death Star with Tarkin in the conference room. Yeah, I saw some pictures of that. I feel like I need something to open this with. I saw some pictures of that Yularen's on the Death Star in A New Hope. That's so cool. Ruined the box. All right, let's get it cranked open. Let's get Action Cam a little bit better positioned here. Where are we going to do this? Like that. Let's do that. Okay, great. So cute in the Yoda. Thank you. I did go all the way over there. I did get sick in the middle of it. I got a cold, a non-COVID. I thought it was COVID, but I got a non-COVID cold while I was there. But I did go, and it was insane, and it was incredible, and it was everything you think Celebration is and more. It was really, really amazing. Met so many great friends over there, and got this amazing Lego set as well. So a little booklet. Got our little booklet. Let's get to it, shall we? Hopefully this shouldn't take too long. It's only 4 little bags. They're not numbered though. Do I just open them all up? I guess I just open them all up, right? I think so. Let's just crank them all open. In better context, Ian McDermott randomly blurted out Cassian Andor when being asked if he'd return back into 2020. No one else mentioned the show. He just brought it up like he knew something. Oh, I see. Okay, I get you. Said, I'm still in charge during that time. We'll see. Ooh. I mean, yeah, that's sure. That's pretty blatant then. He's he's gonna be Palps in this then. No, if not in real life, surely he'll show up as a hologram. Those Sour Patch Kids. If when you guys build Lego, do you just do the messy method where you just one big party You put all the bricks in one, or do you kind of line them up? I mean, usually the bags are numbered, but do you line up all the pieces, or do you just go the mess method, just one big pile? Sometimes I'll line it up just for organization if it's like a big build, but we're going wild today. We're going wild. Let's do it. Whew. Come to Orange County so we can hang out in person. Yeah, absolutely. I can't wait to come back, actually. I do want to come back at some time next year. I'm super bummed that Celebration is in Europe next year. To London from Australia. I mean, India Yoda, you know this, mate, but it's like 24 hours. You got to like lay over in either Singapore or Dubai, and it's like literally 24 hours of travel. So not gonna be doing the London celebration, but hopefully it's in America again, because America is a little bit easier to get to. But I'm coming back to visit you, Joel. I promise. We'll soon need to add more backdrop and shelving, or a bigger set. I've been thinking that it's like, I think I'll add more shelves. Like, there's definitely space over there that I could add some more shelving. But yeah, this set has grown dramatically since we started. Oh, this is a good point. That's a very interesting point. How they're introducing it. But maybe that's a part of it. We need diversity, but also we need realistic representation of how everything isn't equal and how it needs to be. So yeah, it's a fine line, it's a tricky one, and it's a very controversial one that I think is going to take a lot of time to get to, especially in any kind of media, not just Star Wars, to get to a equally diverse and fair kind of production, actors and projects, but also just, yeah, storyline wise. I get what you mean, what you're saying there, though, Caleb. I get that. We still got Palpatine and Kenobi either way. Yeah, I mean, like, that was awesome. His little show up there, and that scene actually. Also, I'm just gonna get started as we keep chatting. That scene is I've never laughed so hard. That was one of the best lines. Is this the tiny one? Yeah, that was one of the best lines where it's like, it opens the scene and Vader's sitting in his castle, massive, surrounded by lava, on Mustafar in his castle. We've just seen the most epic battle, the most epic duel, arguably ever in Star Wars. Insane. He's like old master, smashes your mask, just emotionally charged. And then we cut to that scene. And then the Emperor was like, what are you saying? He's like, you seem agitated. It's like, no, yeah. No, thanks, Sherlock. Yeah, he is agitated. Oh, you seem agitated. Yes, he's agitated. Do you know what kind of day he's had? Wild. No, but I did, in all seriousness, I did laugh very hard at that scene. Okay. I feel like I could do this quickly. I'm hoping this is kind of a quick build, but we've got time. We've got time today. The semi-organized piles, sort of based on size of piece style. Yeah, I usually do that, usually at least by bag. Welcome. What time the episode releases? It releases in approximately just under 4 hours. So that is midnight Pacific time, or 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. If those times work for you where you are, but in just under 4 hours, really. Just under 4 hours is going to be dropping. Like in a galaxy that have hundreds and thousands of species, there are still people who judge other based on skin color. It's like realistic, unfortunately. Yeah, I think that's what I mean. It's like, and that's probably good that it sticks out, because it's like, oh, that's not right. That's not right. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get what you mean there, though. It's like, really? There's all these species, and you're like picking it out. You're like noticing. Joel, I'm on the fence as well. It's like how I don't like the idea of Star Wars Galaxy having homophobia. I like the idea of being queer, being accepted a thing in the galaxy, even by the bad guys. Actually, that's a good point. And I think, maybe sometimes that's a better storyline. Obviously, I can't speak to the race side of things, but I will speak to the queer side of things. Is that like even just the Vel Center representation is so much better than I've seen in Star Wars. And I've mentioned this before. Better than that random, I forget the commander, but in the Rise of Skywalker, that random lesbian kiss in the background, like that was jarring to me. That was really uncomfortable. That was really weird. We've said that before on the show, but I like genuinely that made me feel so weird. But the Vel-Sinta relationship is very natural, normal. No one's talking about it. It's not a weird thing. It's not. They don't draw attention to it. It's like, oh, they're a really woo. It's like no, it's just like a part of the thing. It's like yeah, like the characters don't react to it. Like it's not a big deal. Not a big deal. Yes, right. That was such a good line. Such a good line. No worries. No worries, my friend. Rosario is going to be the first main Star Wars protagonist that is of color. Can't wait. I don't understand why some people already think Ahsoka is overused in Mandoverse when she's just getting started. Yeah, that's an interesting story. And maybe we can talk about that, the fact that we're getting an Ahsoka arc for Tales of the Jedi. Is Ahsoka overused? She has an interesting story. Like, is overused bad? She's got an interesting story. So, like, it's an interesting discussion, that one. Hang on, can you even see what I'm doing? I just realized you can't see what I'm doing here. So, hang on, let me get a little space here. There we go. I'll make a little area from where I'm doing it. Get a little booklet in there as well. It's is Ahsoka overused? I don't think so. But again, that's my bias, I think. I feel like I can't rationally speak to that because I'm like the really big fan of Ahsoka. I was pretty much her age when she was going through Clone Wars. And as she aged through Clone Wars, was like the same age as me. So I have just naturally really resonated with her character. So obviously now I'm an adult and she's an adult and what she's doing. Hey, Jared! Welcome, Jared, to the chat. Everyone make Jared feel welcome. Great to have you here, my friend. You're not missing out. We're an hour and 10 into the show. We've made our cocktail. We've got our mace cocktail, which didn't work out too great, but it's all right. And we're building our Ahsoka Lego. We've got our Ahsoka Lego here. Where's our thing? Looking good. This is again proof. I never pre-plan these shows. Well, I pre-plan them, but I never test them. I never test these. We do it live on the show every week. Whatever we make or create, I'm doing it live. So if it goes wrong, goes wrong. But that's the genuine, the honesty of the show is we're doing it together. We're in love and Star Wars together. Okay, where are we up to? What are we up to? But yes, Ahsoka being a lot of people like to complain about. I feel like that's an easy thing to complain about. Like, oh, Ahsoka's used too much. But it's like, but there's more to her character. She has a pretty interesting character and an interesting journey that she goes on. So I feel like yes, she's used a lot, but there's still more to her story that can be told, in my opinion. Ooh, like Mace Windu, a Mace cocktail. Yeah, like Mace Windu. I was trying to make it purple, but it's just the blueberries and Sour Patch Kids in Pavan, which is like it's like a grape liqueur. Dave, Star Wars is future rather than delve into the hot social topics. What we deal with today would be interesting to see a progressive, more positive spin on racism, LGBTQ plus, etc. Yeah, exactly. I think maybe that's what we're all getting at here. That it's like, yeah, don't show like we know what like the inequality looks like, whether you experience yourself or you know someone or you just see it around day to day where you are. Like it's there. Let's show what it can be. What does inclusivity mean? And what does diversity mean? And what does representation like mean fit and how it may a future fictional society function when that isn't an issue and when there is equality. Yeah, that's an interesting thought. I think it would be weird if the Empire had a thing against. That's a good point. They're kind of strict and conservative, but maybe they are chill. I love that. It's why I like Star Trek so much. It's so idealistic in the way you can still have evil, but they're not bigots. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't watch a lot of Star Trek, but I've had a lot of conversations with people who do, and they say that a lot. They say that a lot. Not people just like to hate overused Ahsoka. In that case, what is Vader? Actually, that's a good point. What is R2 and C3PO? There are 9 films. 9. That is a lot of films. A lot of films. That's a good point. It's like it's future, but it was a long, long time ago. Like, what does that mean? How does that work? How does that work? It's a good point. It's a good point. Film and Crossroads. Now, this is a point that's really interesting. The Lando series. The Lando. I'm also excited to see the Lando series if that actually happens. I'm guessing it'll be really popular with Donald Glover's star power. I've heard Billy D. Williams is involved for narration. Yeah, I maybe like 6 months ago, I just tweeted that question. I'm like, whatever happened to the Lando series? Like, what happened there? Where's that gone? Because that would be amazing. Kind of like this cool, like Lando is just like the coolest character ever, and just maybe some of like younger Lando kind of slinging around the galaxy doing cool stuff, meeting cool people. I think that'll be a cool, almost like a Canto bite, which is funny because I say that because I didn't like the Canto bite scenes, but almost like he's in that kind of crowd of people. Yeah, and I would love obviously Billy D to come back and kind of reprise his role in that way. What have I done here? Hang on, I'm getting confused. Ah. Okay, okay. We're looking good. We're looking good. I'm making this little piece here. I don't know what it's for. I think it's slated right at the end. Right at the end of the coming shows, probably in 2024. Yeah, there's still like for the next like 2 years at least. There's like it's pretty decent. We've got some pretty decent Star Wars content coming out. Okay, I've done that much. How do I get there? Oh, on top. Okay. No, not orange yet. I feel like I'm missing a piece. Why can't I? Is this right? Yeah, that's right. How do I get to that one? How do I get that one? I'm going crazy. I already think I've lost a piece. It's a grey piece. I'm looking for a grey 2 one, like a one of those, but that doesn't have the thing on it. I'm already struggling. We'll get back to the discussion in a second. Let me figure out where this thing is. Is it like under something? That's what I'm like. I mean, should I just use a different piece? Or is that risking it? You know what? I swear I have spare pieces of Lego somewhere. This is so chaotic. This is what I mean. This is so chaotic of a show. Just found it. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That was so stressful. Okay, what were we saying? What were we saying? Weird idea with the MCU confirming that Star Wars exists in their multi-omniverse. I kind of want alternate episodes of Lando and Edna Mode from Incredibles getting in a fight about capes. Now there's a theory. There's a theory. Yes. Oh my gosh. You remember that? Oh, that was so stressful. That was so intense. The tiny, tiny little pieces we had to work with that day. I'm so glad I shared that with you guys. That building the Millennium Falcon was intense. That was intense. My heart is still broken over Lego. I lost a bunch of my childhood stuff when I moved, but luckily kept onto all the figures. Oh, that is sad. There's nothing more sad than that. But you kept the figure. That's okay. Got some good figures in that collection. Let me know what figures you got in there. Wham! There you go. Okay, how do I? Which way? Hey, what on earth? Oh. Okay, I feel like this is the center part of her head or something. I don't know. Alrighty, onto the. Oh no, this is sorry, this is not her head. This is her like body, I think. Cool. I think I've used the wrong piece somewhere. Because action cam. There we go. Those two greys, these two greys here are meant to be the same grey. But we're gonna go with it. We're gonna go with it. Hopefully it works out. Donald Glover has unfortunately been booked up for the past couple of years. The final season of Atlanta and Mr. and Mrs. Smith reboot, but his original movie trilogy. Yeah, he's a busy guy, isn't he? I mean, he's pretty good, so don't blame him. I don't think they plan on making the Lando show for a while, anyways. Yeah. You had so many Lego. What Legos did you have? Let me know. Let me know. I just want to share. I love the side stories in Andor. Yes, you missed our Andor discussion, so let us know. Let us know your thoughts, Jared. Especially Miro's. I don't know. It's nice to see people in the Empire believing that what they're doing is good. Yeah, I was kind of making that point. It's like it's kind of weird. It's like she's a part of the Empire, but I'm like rooting for her. I'm like, I hope she succeeds. I like hope she does well. But yeah, she's definitely a very cool character. Loving these side characters we're getting in Endor. That is a very good part of the story. I'm loving that part. Okay, we're making her little arms here. Ahsoka's arms. Again, I keep moving it from the camera. Dave, unfortunate or not, but mainly due to the reality time passing, the OG Star Wars characters Han, Luke, and Leia passing on. The new powers close the book entirely by dealing with Lando and Chewie. Yeah, I feel like dealing. Yeah, it's tricky. There's so many people in Star Wars where it's like could easily have more of a story or like more direction, more like backstory. There's so many characters like that, isn't it? But it's hard to say like who gets a backstory, who gets more information, kind of thing. But yeah, it is very sad. But as time goes on, that's how it goes. Okay, all right. Now I feel like this is the part for her head to come in like that. I think. Why am I struggling? Oh, awesome. Okay, that's the front part. Okie doke. I've kept all the old Star Wars figures from early 2000s that no one can get anymore. I see them online for so much of a high prices, and I'm glad I'm kept them. Nice, that's so good. Yeah, the one I've got a couple of. I've got Anakin's Pod Racer, like the original. They did a re-release of it like a couple of years ago, as like a not celebration. What do they call it? Anniversary. But I have the original one, original Pod Racer from 2000 when it came out. 1999. What other ones did I have? I think the other that's not as old, but I have funny enough, speaking of Mace Windu, I have the Mace Windu Starfighter. Is that in this box? Hang on. I didn't actually plan this. This looks really planned now, but I didn't plan this. But this is from I want to say maybe 2010 or something. But this is the Mace Windu Starfighter. There he is in there, Macy boy, and it comes with like BD1 droids, not BD1 droids, B1 droids, and like their little separatist like flyer things. But it's like that's one of my. This goes for about 300 out of box now these days. But yeah, it's fascinating how much like Lego like is like a commodity. Like it gains value. It's just like any collection, I guess. All right, Bubba, you can get back up there. Great. Whew. I'd like to see a Star Wars series someday about the lawful, goodish, / evil. Ha ha ha. I want to see them still believe till the end what they did was right without being evil. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, like a officer. I feel like Thrawn is almost at that level. It's almost Thrawn. Ty had the original Boba Fett ship when I was a kid, but half the pieces got thrown out. Ugh, only Boba and Han in Carbonite left. That's okay. Those are cool figures. Those are cool figures. My first Lego set was was with Qui-Gon when he was still yellow, and it also had the original Jar Jar. Love that original Jar Jar, where it's just like it's literally just it's just like one color. He's just like unicolor, his whole head. That's iconic. That's an iconic minifigure you got there. Only one of the green ones, right? Okay, cool. Lego, yeah, is currency of the future. Action cam lagging out a little bit on me. That's okay. Thrawn is lawful evil. Yeah, I see. Joel, great minds think alike. I thought, yeah, that reminds like I feel like that's Thrawn. Thrawn's lawful evil. Okay. Yep, other way. But yeah, it is funny how Lego sets kind of gather over time. I think. What's a Lego set you really want? What is that piece? What on earth is that? I don't see this piece anywhere. Again, oh no, I lied. It's right here. Ooh. Jeez. My most prized Lego figure is the original Remy Spider-Man and White Boba Fett. Wow, yeah. Those are nice pieces. Those are nice pieces to have in a collection there. Okay, where does this go? On the back of her head. Nice. Okay. Oh, 5 more. Let's do it. Alrighty, it's coming together. Coming together. I don't know if anyone else has this set. You know what's something we haven't spoken about yet? The Ahsoka arc. What's the Ahsoka arc gonna be on? What's the Ahsoka arc gonna be on? You know, we're making her character right now, so let's talk about what we're gonna see in Tales of the Jedi. I still like that's happening. Tales of the Jedi. If you know, Tales of the Jedi are happening in like 3.5 hours, guys. Let's. It's not real. It's not real, is it? Insane. But at Celebration, we did get a sneak peek of what that could be. Of I don't know if it's the first episode. I'm assuming it's the first episode of her arc. But we got a sneak peek. We saw that episode in full, and it was incredible. I won't talk about it too much, spoil it too much for anyone who's wanting it spoiler free. But that it was it's gonna be good. Tales of Jedi is gonna be good. Okay, what are we doing here? We're going inward. I feel like this is her Laku now. We're doing her head tails. If it was not a factor, what Star Wars Lego set would Hannah dream of buying? You know what? Like currently, the Luke land speeder is pretty cool. That's a couple hundred. But that's a cool set. I would love that set. Love Luke's land speeder. But yeah, it's out at the moment. I would love that one. I think maybe the Death Star. I think maybe the Death Star is a pretty cool one. That's always going to be cool. So I think that's on everyone's list at some point. Then you're watching both tomorrow in the morning because you need your sleep. That is okay, my friend. Well, yeah, we'll try and keep spoilers to a minimum until a couple days time, perhaps. But yeah, rest. It's going to be a big day of watching for you tomorrow. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, thank you so much for joining, Joel. Great conversations, my friend, as always. How do we do this? Anakin's preparing Ahsoka for Order 66. Yeah, it's kind of I saw a tweet of that and someone's like, "Oh, that's like what was happening." I'm like, "Geez, that's kind of freaky, hey." It's like what was happening. He was like getting ready. That's why she was so good. She was so good. Man, Shattered and Victory in Death is just that's top tier Star Wars storytelling, hey. Okay, we're doing her face now. Oh my gosh, we're doing her face already. Oh, well, you're staying till you finish the show. Okay, you're just saying you're watching it tomorrow. Okay, well, stay. Then stay. This is fantastic. Even better news. Amazing. But yeah, you're watching it tomorrow. Watching it tomorrow. But yeah, seeing I like, obviously we've seen it in the trailer, but I won't speak of it. We get the baby Ahsoka, but then we have 2 other episodes to fill where it's like we see, um, her like what we're saying with her training with Anakin, and the clones, and we see Rex. Exciting to see Rex again. That is amazing. But what one question I had is who is this inquisitor looking guy? Is he just an inquisitor? We get the final look at him in the end. Actually, he was in the thumbnail of the show today. Who is that guy? Who is this inquisitor? Who is this Sith looking character? That was good. Can I twist them anymore? I don't know. I don't think I can. Okay, cool. Oh, what other pieces? Oh. But who do we think that character was? He looked pretty cool. He's got a cool look about him. I'm not usually up with my Sith. I know a lot of people like really love the Sith, love, Revan, Malak, and those kind of characters. They're really up with it. I'm not up with my Sith characters, but this character looked cool. Trying to crank through it here. Bam. It's coming together. She's coming together. He's a regular random new Inquisitor. Maybe he's in a secret Inquisitor with a custom helmet. That's all we know. That is all we know. Yeah, but he looks cool, hey. So yeah, Inquisitor character, what is it? What is he up to? What's his motive? Who's he reporting to? It's my questions. But let me know in the comments actually. Julie mentioned it before, having an after show. I usually do an after show for Andor. Should I do an after show tonight? After maybe 2.5 hours after. So it's time for Tales and Andor for everyone to watch both. Or should I just do it after show after Tales? Let me know if you're keen or if you're staying awake for that at all. Because again, here in Australia, it's a very comfortable time to be watching shows. What is happening? Oh, yes. Okay. Nice. Okay. This is like, the start of Hulaku. There? Yeah. Boom and boom. And one on the other side. I read the more RaeSide content, the better. Oh, you're such a good fan, Dave. You are so supportive. I appreciate it. Maybe I should. I will be like iffy now, but I know as soon as it Tales of the Jedi finish, I'll be like just rearing with like comments and thoughts. So, I think maybe you should. I'll keep you updated on Twitter if anything happens. Follow me over there if you're awake and keen for a show to after you watch it have somewhere to talk about it. How do I do this? Oh. So this is the little fiddly part. All these little pieces are coming together. Little square. Then another little triangle thingy. Like that. What? I wonder how Vader or the Empire goes around recruiting someone like the Grand Inquisitor, while the clones are programmed to kill him at the same time. That's a good thought. It's like, why doesn't if they come across, force sensitive people, why don't they just kill them immediately? It's an interesting question. Right, did I do all that right? I think that's all right. Oh, we're doing the back now. We're doing the back. Doing the back. Okay. Speaking of Tales of the Jedi casting, I feel like a lot of people are talking about how Liam Neeson is back as Qui-Gon, but not many people are talking about his son voicing young Qui-Gon. Yeah, I mentioned that a little earlier and how awesome that is. Like, that's just such a, I love that like family side of Star Wars. It's so wholesome. That's so nice. So cool. But yeah, that is so cool. I love that fact. I feel like there has to be more attention. Maybe I should just do like a full video and just like how great Liam Neeson's son is. I can't. I'm really bad with names today. I keep forgetting his name. Ooh, nice. Okay, so this is like the back of her hair. Oh, hair. Laku. Okay, the white part. Then the blue part. Fantastic. Oh, where did that come from? You won't be able to watch the after show because I got a Star Wars content day after you guys. You get a day after? How? What? Why? Where? Oh, that. Wait. Did we talk about this the other week? I feel like we talked about this the other week. But I do agree. The more content, the better. Cool. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. I think about the rebellion wanting to restore the republic and wonder, is that really a radical thing to fight for? The same republic that allowed corporations to run rampant. Yeah, that's a really great question, kind of, or just thought, Joel. Of yeah, they ran rampant. They like it wasn't the republic. Like I understand the concept of the republic is like the good thing to fight for, but it's like it also was like very was not functioning well at all. There we go. Is that right? Okay. So yeah, it's an interesting one to think about. Should it be a republic? How would the galaxy work in a better way? What's the best way to have the galaxy functioning? I feel like it is the best way, but I feel like it needs to be run in a certain way. And it was very corrupt, you know. One here, I think. This is so tricky to get all this right. That there. Yes. Oh. The show comes out at about 3 hours. In 3 hours' time, we'll be getting the show. So almost exactly to 3 hours. 3 hours and 5 minutes. So it comes out 12 p.m. Pacific, or that is 3 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But yeah, let me know your thoughts of what you're most excited for the show. I'm getting so focused on this tricky, like these really finicky parts. Where's the next part? But Ahsoka, I think Ahsoka's such a fascinating character to me because it's like, and I think they did put well portraying this in the Clone Wars, where it's like she actually holds so much of Anakin in her character, and obviously, like that's kind of said and shown. It's like people are like, "Oh, you're so much like your master," kind of quips and jokes. Where the way she like kind of is quite individual and does what she think is right, and she even has a couple episodes where very mildly goes against the Jedi orders. Oh yeah, wait. Oh no, I've done this wrong. So it's interesting that she's taken so much for Anakin, but then yeah, again, but fundamentally when it comes down to it, she doesn't agree. She doesn't agree with obviously what he does. And it is very sad the way that the connection that is built over that time, and the way that it is shattered. And I think that's such a great title of an episode. That second last episode of Clone Wars being shattered. That's such a great episode title. Because I feel like that's like, yes, the Republic is shattered, or like, the ship is shattered, but it's like I really feel like heart, Ahsoka's heart is shattered. Oh yes, talking about Qui-Gon's son voicing Qui-Gon's son. Liam Neeson's son voicing young Qui-Gon. It's like Ewan McGregor's daughter being in Obi-Wan in the Obi-Wan show, and Carrie's daughter being in the sequel movies. Absolutely. It's like one big happy family. Yes, Jared. Absolutely. And my girlfriend just yelled at nepotism in regards to Qui-Gon. I mean, yeah, but if we get a good performance out of it, lol. Yeah, nepotism, but I agree with you. I agree with you, Caleb. If it's good, it's good. You know what I mean? If it like, I feel like this is the time where you want to use nepotism. If it's like the voicing of a character, I feel like that would work. Oh, jeez, I keep dropping pieces. Okay, where on earth am I up to? What goes here? Okay. Alrighty, let's do it. Uh-oh. Where's that little... I need a round piece. I know I keep dropping pieces. Did I drop something and not know? Oh, it's right here. It's right here. Okay, we're getting to the end of this build, my friends. I'm stoked with this. It's going to be such a build up and a lot of fan expectations and excitement from the Ahsoka series. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Yeah, yes, I definitely agree. I think there's so much hype for her character. I am a little worried about it, but I also not too worried, because I feel like in the hands of Dave, and this whole concept, as much as the title is from something from the EU, like this concept was born out of Dave being like, I have these other stories that like I need to tell about the Jedi. So I feel like they're gonna do justice. It's not like this was born out of like, oh, we have to do these stories. It's like, no, Dave wanted to share these pieces of information with us. So maybe. I really want more live action Qui-Gon and Yoda. Yeah, I'm down for if Obi-Wan comes back for season 2, I would definitely want like that to be like the Obi-Wan Qui-Gon kind of season. I think that would be very cool. Is that all that's done? That's all done, right? Oh no, that's the wrong one. I don't have like a thing. Oh no, how do I get this off? Jeez. I can't even get the other pieces around it off to get to it. Come on, buddy. Yeah, I can see you moving. Sorry, don't mind me trying to get this wrong piece off. There's nothing like putting a piece down, realizing it's wrong, and then trying to get it off. This is so tricky. My jeez. Oh, jeez, got it. Whew. Stressful. I hope Tales of the Jedi gets to season 2 and we get some stories of Luke, Ben Solo, and maybe Rey. Yeah, that'd be epic. That's a cool idea. That's a really, really cool. Me and my brother were actually just talking about that today, being like, it'd be really cool to get a Clone Wars show that based in the timeline around Bloodline. Or maybe just like 5 years before the Force Awakens, or 5 or 10 years before the Force Awakens. That would be a cool show. Yeah, the same way we get to see Luke's Jedi school. Yeah, I think so. I feel like that would be a good place to kind of talk about it. If you want to check out Liam Neeson's son acting work, you can watch Anchorman 2. He has a cameo next to his dad during the news anchor fight scene. Wow, there you go. I need to rewatch that movie. I barely remember what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. Remember, not all the Jedi from Luke's temple is dead. Good point. See, I feel like there's so much potential Star Wars telling here. There's so much potential like Jedi stories, which I really think this mini series can really just keep going. You can go really far. Okay, we're almost there, I feel. We're almost there. So you can just complete the Lego Ahsoka, then realize there are some pieces. Oh yeah, that's for sure gonna happen, surely. Yeah, imagine that new Jedi. New Jedi. Maybe season 2 with confirmed Yaddle is actually Sith and Rey's grandma or Jar Jar's apprentice. Now there's some theories for us. That is some good thinking there. Imagine. Yaddle's Sith. That's where she goes. She doesn't die. She's Sith. Oh, cool. That sits nicely. Okay. Final stretch. So 2 of these. 2 black things. Boom and boom. We're so close. We're so close. Oh, and the grey square on top. We're so close. Where's facing this way? She's so cute. Oh, okay, great. Now she stands. I want the story of Ben first meeting Snoke. What I have never even thought of that. Now that's a storyline. That is such a good idea. Where on earth are these pieces going? Oh, right, I see. Now that would be such an interesting storyline, Joel. I love that idea. Oh, I immediately put it on the wrong spot. Dang it. Come on. Why is this so difficult? Why is Lego so difficult, man, for an adult? Oh, geez, got it. Snoke pretending to be a humbled, scared gardener. I have a lot of ideas, Snoke stories that make the fact he's genetically experiment really compelling. Yeah, actually, okay, so like the idea of Snoke is really interesting, and one storyline that really fascinates me with Star Wars is this cloning concept, and I think this is a very well interwoven concept. We're we're getting it in a lot of different things. We're getting it Bad Batch, obviously. We're talking about how clones, stop being processed, but the Bad Batch season 2 finale is they take the Kaminoan. They take the Nala Se, is that her name? They take Nala Se, because of her cloning expertise. Oh, hang on, what's this? And that's such an interesting concept to me. I definitely think that's going to happen. We're going to see more of what that means and what that is in season 2, as well as Mando. In season 2 on Navarro, we see that lab thing. We see that lab place, and that's where we see some cloning happening. And obviously, Grogu's storyline is that he's being cloned, not being cloned. Sorry, but his blood is being taken for the midichlorians for eventually cloning. Oh, she gets 2 lightsabers. That's so fun. Okay, other side. Amazing. Oh. Where did that piece go? All right, we're almost finished here. We're on the home stretch. One backwards, one forwards. Okay, is that it? And then we put her on the stand. Oh, no, there's still something to do with the stand. And then here it is. Oh my gosh, check that out. Check out all that extra. I guess I feel like they put in extra though, but that's okay. We've got it. Here she is, ready to debut in 3 hours time. Check her out. That looks so cool. I'm so happy with that. She looks amazing. I'm surprised with how well the Leku worked. The back, it's really bright actually. Whoa, Nike, crikey. There we go. Sorry, don't mind me. Action cam, take a good look there. Looking good. The Leku looking real nice. Definitely recommend for a build. She looks good. She's ready for her not debut because we know her already, but for her to show up in. I touch her hand back. To show up in Tales of the Jedi. That is so cool. She's so cute. Amazing. Leave her there. Now, that's when I should tease that. This isn't the only brickheads that I have. And I dropped it. Check this out. Picked this up just the other day. Went on a little holiday to Melbourne, Australia, and picked this up in the Lego store down there because I couldn't find it here in Sydney. The Obi-Wan Kenobi, Obi and Vader brickheads. So we'll be doing that in a show very soon coming up as well. So got that one to look forward to. But that was a fun build. Definitely, I want to see. I know there's like a Grogu. Actually, she's missing a part of her Leku. Where did that must have fallen off when I accidentally dropped it. I'll have to find that later. I have no idea where that's gone. That's hilarious. We'll find that later. Look at Obi-Wan's eyes. Actually, yeah, his eyes is pretty funny. He's That's like a meme right there. That's meme worthy. That's a mood. Why is his forehead so big? Ahsoka's forehead isn't that big. Oh, her forehead isn't that big at all. Why is his forehead so big? Oh, that's gonna be a fun one. That's gonna be a very, very fun one. Oh my goodness. If I drop this one more time, it's like it just doesn't stick to the little standy thing. My goodness, my friends. Well, we'll start to wrap up here. We are. How long are we away? We are less than. Hang on. We're 2.5 hours away. Just a little over 2 hours away. Thank you. That's a compliment. I when I do the style, I always go. I'm gonna do the Qui-Gon today and do like the little half tie up thing. Do the Qui-Gon. I love it. I'm gonna make this a thing. I love it. Stands up and applauds. Well done. Thank you. Why is his ears? I keep putting this away. Why is his ears big? No, where did I put that? Again, that's an even better question. Look at this on the back here. Is that his ear? Look how big that ear is. Why is his ear so big? It's the size of half his head. Oh, this is so fun. Why is this such a meme? That is a meme. It is a good meme. Leave that there. We'll leave that. Oh, so I don't have to keep reaching over for it. But yes, so in a couple hours time, let's run through what's happening. We're gonna watch the show, watch it, enjoy it, absorb it. I'm personally probably gonna do Tales first. Actually, no, I totally go back on that. That's not what I was meant to say. I'm gonna watch Andor first because that's like a solid, 50 minutes, 45 minutes, and then watch through all the Tales of the Jedi as well. So the role of content that's coming out from these shows. Of course, my reactions are going to be up pretty much as soon as possible. As soon as it finishes, I get straight into editing. So a couple of hours after, at least for America or that side of the world, that'll be the morning for you. My reactions will be up. And then also on Thursday, which is my Friday, but your Thursday, I'm going to be dropping a review of Tales of the Jedi. So instead of doing just a big stream about it, I'm going to also do a review video, reviewing my feelings and thoughts and experiences as a massive Star Wars fan of seeing this amazing show. So that's going to be coming on Friday. And of course, don't forget my new series. Check it out if you haven't. The Best of Star Wars series. It's going to be on the channel every weekend. There's a new video coming out of this series. And this is just going to go on forever until I run out of topics. So make sure you guys that replied to my story on Instagram about this had some amazing suggestions. And literally most of them I'm taking on board and probably going to do. So that's going to be rolling out in the next couple of weeks. And you'll keep seeing that pop up. So every weekend, probably on a Saturday for you guys, Sunday here in Australia, that's going to be dropping on the channel as well. So keep your eyes out for that. I think that's it. I think we can relax. We've got the shows to go. We've got the shows to come. So, maybe you're going to rest a little, sleep first, and then wake up for the shows. Maybe stay up for the shows. Or maybe do a Joel. Maybe go to sleep, get your rest, and watch it all tomorrow. Binge it all tomorrow if you got the time. But it should be very good. Good day. Thank you so much, Keith. Enjoy Tales of Andor. I hope to. I believe I will. But yeah, get any final thoughts or anything you need to get out. It's going to be so exciting. I still can't believe personally that we have more Star Wars Clone Wars animation and we have more Clone Wars stories. It is so amazing to get this back. I'm such a big Star Wars Clone Wars fan. I like how I'm using the official title. I'm such a big Clone Wars fan. So to get it back, just in these little pockets, these little poems of Dave Filoni's mind is making me so happy. So it's going to be a fantastic couple hours. And can't wait to break it down, enjoy it all with you guys. Make sure you check me out on social media if you don't already at the RaeSide on Twitter and Instagram. And make sure you are following the Star Wars Underworld. If you don't know, I do this channel. This channel is all my own. This is all me over here. But I am a co-host over on the Star Wars Underworld as well. They go live every Thursday night. We do usually news, but because the show's on, we do the show. So we're breaking down Andor every week. And this week on the Star Wars Underworld, we're going to be breaking down Tales of the Jedi on Thursday, and then we're going to do an extra show on Saturday, where we're going to break down Andor. So those are like 2.5 hours long breakdowns. So if you like meaty, in-depth Star Wars lore and discussion, go to the Star Wars Underworld. I'm a co-host over there. We do great shows, great friends I do it with, and it's a good time. Another entertaining show. Thank you so much. Fellow RaeSiders. I feel like judging when typing in English. I love that. That's okay. It's totally okay. All good. It's all good. Sleep. What is that? What is that? We know what you mean. We know what you mean, Sevilla. We get you. We get you, my friend. But yes, sleep or no sleep. I hope you all enjoy the Star Wars coming at us. I'll be tweeting out my thoughts a little later on of the shows that happen. I feel like that's all for today. That's all for today. So make sure you follow me on the social medias, and I'll catch you guys later. So that is all for me. As always, always choose the RaeSide. Haha. Ha ha ha. Who stayed? Who stayed? Who knows there's a post-credit scene? So with the cocktail, it tasted good. I wasn't lying. It did taste good. But like what had essentially happened, like the good parts of the Sour Patch Kids hadn't dissolved properly yet. And like the coating of the Sour Patch Kid, like the sourness of it is from the citric acid. I feel like the citric acid just dissolved into the mineral water and like that was it. I was just drinking like citric acid in mineral water. That's what like it got worse as it got on. Like I was kind of just optimistic that it was good, but it was The blueberries just taste like blueberries, but the liquid is just like citric acid water. I really misjudged this one. I just totally misjudged this. But you know what? I gotta make up for last week, where I said I didn't even say, I declared that I can catch food in my mouth really well. I'm gonna prove to you that I can. I don't know if you can see it, but I got a blueberry. Here we go. First go. First go. I got it second go last time. Let's get a first go this time. Let's go. Nailed it. Nailed it. First go. Enjoy the shows. Enjoys the shows. Yeah, I'm keen to hear everyone's thoughts on it. I think I will adjust the recipe. I'll see you guys next time. Enjoy your night. Enjoy the shows. Enjoy Star Wars.